a price tag on that pussy. Like, basically. What up, and you already know what it is. Back at it again with another video. And hey, what up, Goodie Gang. And before I get into this topic, we have to first stop what we're doing. Subscribe to that channel. Turn on your post notifications, and this way you are notified every time tina.channiel posts another video. Be a part of the gang that is good. You know what? Goodie Gang Out, you guys are not doing nothing. You know, it's free subscriptions. Just come on down and subscribe, okay? It's fucking Wheel of Fortune in here. Me not nothing yet, but come on down and subscribe. So today our topic, we are getting into, you know, knowing our self-worth and what is our self-worth. The reason why I want to discuss this is because I was talking to people that are very close to me, and I started to have to realize, like, what is my worth? And, like, you know, what is it about myself that I get into these little, like, moments of just feeling crazy? Like, I don't, like, you know, we all get that insecure feeling. We all get different feelings, and we don't know what to do, and we don't know why it is. And sometimes I feel like you have to search within, girl. We gotta look deep and figure out what is our problem. You know, before you get into, like, relationships, we got to first learn to love ourselves before we can love anybody else. Because, like, how can you love someone if you don't love you? And sometimes you're loving a person, they don't love themselves, and it's very, very, very hard to love somebody who doesn't love themselves. It could be very, very hard to be in a relationship with a guy who's, you know, he hasn't gotten over his demons, and you have your demons, and then you try to get together and you have a little demon baby. You're trying to make a little demon love, and it's just not working. So I wrote some things down, and I want to discuss it with y'all because we family, okay? We're going to talk about it. Okay, and it's like knowing your self-worth. Knowing your self-worth, you know, learning to love yourself. Why is it so hard for us to love ourselves? I don't know. And, you know, I wrote a lot of these things down. And, you know, first understanding who you are and what you bring to the table. And what you can bring to another person, because it's like, you know, as a woman, we're supposed to, like, bring life and bring value and all that stuff. But it's like, how do I do that when I feel so valueless? Like, I feel like I'm unworthy and I don't feel that valuable. Sometimes today I wake up, I'm not feeling that confident, I'm not feeling that sexy, I'm not feeling that, you know, good about myself. I just want to stay in bed, or I just don't feel like getting on with the day or doing anything. And we have those moments, but it's like, as a woman, especially black women, we don't get to show that. We can't show that, so we sit in our bed and we cry. Because I know I do it. I cry a lot because I'm a Cancer, and I feel like all we do is cry. Like, honestly, I get back into my shell. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk about it, and I just feel like, leave me alone and let me wallow in my little misery until my misery is over, and then I'll like let you know what's wrong. Like, I'll let you know what I feel like letting you know, and it's just like, you know, whatever. Like, you know, give yourself a minute to think about it. Like, what I used to do, I used to look at myself in the mirror, and this is what we need to do when we're young. Like, a lot of times our parents don't understand what's going on with us, and we're in our adolescent ages, we're trying to figure ourselves out and stuff like that. What I used to do when I was a teenager is I would look at myself in the mirror and tell myself, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you are beautiful, and no one got over you because you are beautiful. And it doesn't matter what any nigga say, any little nigga say, you are beautiful. And I had to, like, bring my own confidence out and try to make myself confident, because loving yourself is hard. Like, loving yourself is so hard. Trying to be your own confidant is so hard. And just, you know, especially when you're young and you got, like, a little boyfriend or whatever, and he ain't showing you, you know, any type of love and affection. Sometimes, like, you know, y'all together, y'all cool, everything's good, and then next thing you know, he's off with another little bitch, and you be thinking, what the fuck? What is this? Don't do that. Not with me. You gonna play with me like that? And it's just like, you make that right there make you even feel very insecure. Especially when you're young. You don't know how to feel. Like, you haven't grown into your own yet. You haven't grown as a woman yet. So you don't know how to feel. And that's another thing. We don't know how to feel sometimes. So now you have to tell yourself every day how you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you are amazing. And you know, you need to start, I'm reading off what I wrote because I wrote a lot of stuff. Start to realize that if you didn't understand your worth, just like start to understand your worth now. And this goes to dark-skinned girls. Like, a lot of times we don't understand our worth growing up being dark-skinned. It's like, people don't like to talk about colorism. They think it's not a thing, but it is a thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of text. Okay, it is a thing, especially for like our darker skinned girls. We grow up very, very insecure. And like, people would talk about, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, we would talk about, like, people would talk about us like we don't get picked a lot, and being someone's girlfriend, we don't get picked to be girlfriends until we're like in college and whatever the cases may be or whatever. So like, you know, sorry, I'm so distraught right now because like I'm getting so many text messages and I want to do this video right. Growing up dark skinned girl, me, everyone, all of us, we grew up, sometimes we're very insecure. Growing up, people used to call me, you know, darky, blacky, whatever, all these other names, and that used to like tear me down a little bit. Especially if you are one of the darkest people in your family, that will hurt you. And to make you think that, you know, am I ever worthy, because you look and you see all these guys, they want to date a lighter skinned girl and stuff like that, to make you feel like, you know what, maybe if I look like her, I would get picked more, you know, guys will love me more, guys would not play me, and you know, they would, you know, they would like me and they take me out and they do this and that. And I started to just realize, like, if he don't like me, for me, because this skin color, I can't change. It don't matter how much bleach in the fucking world. It don't defeat the fact that I was dark skinned. It doesn't matter. Like, you can put all the bleach and do all the things to yourself, and then it doesn't, you're just stripping away your melanin. It doesn't defeat the fact that I was still born a dark skinned woman. I can't get away from that. Like, I can't get away from this skin. You could rub it off and you could rub it and rub it till it's white, till I'm pale white, but it don't matter. You still gonna have that insecurity. Oh my God, like, you know, you still gonna wanna, you still gonna do it in the involvement of the rubbings. It not gonna go away. You can't, you know. You know, I'm still gonna be dark, and nobody telling me, only my grandfather was telling me that I'm beautiful, and I had to tell it to myself. You're beautiful, Shantae. That's my name. Shantae, you're beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. I was telling myself that I'm beautiful so much to where when I was in high school, people thought I was cocky. And I didn't think nothing of it. But it was like I had to tell myself how I am beautiful. That I wasn't arrogant about it. I just had to let myself know it. Call me ugly. Oh, when somebody said like I wouldn't date no dark skinned girl, it wouldn't like mind fuck me, because like I tell myself this shit every day, how beautiful I am, how amazing I am, how gorgeous I am. I'm not just physically beautiful, I am beautiful on the inside. I am a great girl. I will make a wonderful girlfriend. I will make an amazing wife. So these things is not going to affect me when one of these niggas tell you they don't want to fuck with you. Another thing, I started to realize, you know, oh wow, cause I just talked about that. I'm way ahead of my own damn self, you know. understanding your power as a woman and that you are the prize, okay? That we are the prize, and add tax, okay? Like, people gotta pay taxes. You gotta add taxes to that ass. You gotta add taxes to this. It costs to be with me, and it don't just cost financial, you know, because bitch, we don't want a nigga with money, okay? If at least a fucking man with a job, okay? Shit. But anyway, add your value, add tax to your value. You know, you have to walk with a stride, you know, like, just tell yourself, exude confidence and let it be known, you know, and don't take no shit. That's like adding tax to who you are. Value your value, make your price go. Listen, fuck all that. Put a price tag on that pussy. Like, basically, like, I don't know how to say it in a more sophisticated manner, but put a price tag on that pussy. Put a price tag on that ass. And I don't mean in the prostituted way. That's not what I mean. Put a price tag on it. Like, make them work for you. Like, they work, they interview for these jobs, and they put on their best suit and tie, they shake a hand, they make it known that I am the best candidate and I want to get hired, and da da da. That's how the fuck he should be doing with you. I want this job, you know, I want to be your boyfriend, I'm trying to be your husband, you know. Add tax to that shit. Don't just accept bullshit. Like, that's why I think a lot of times women, we should multi-date, date a lot of guys until, don't fuck a lot of guys. That's not what I mean. Like, don't be out here fucking everything. I'm gonna do a video about a whole phase. I'm gonna do that. But don't be out here fucking everything, okay? Don't. But date and see what you like and see what you don't like. Have conversations and have a good time. Because a lot of times, girls, I know a lot of girls, they want to date one guy at a time. Which I don't find nothing wrong with dating one guy at a time. It's okay. Even if you are dating multiple guys at a time, don't sleep with everyone you're with. But, like, you know, just see what it is you like with this one. See, I like him, he has good conversation. I like him, he makes me laugh. I like him, he buys me food. I like him, I always have an intellectual, deep conversation with him. And you know, because, like, guys do that. They pick what they like with this girl. They like that girl because she do this. They like that bitch because she this and this. Da, da, da. They do that too. And it's okay to do that. And then from that, you just pick, you drop them off like flies. Like, I don't want you no more. I don't want you no more. I don't want you no more. And then eventually you'll find that little diamond in the rough. But something that my mom said is, don't stop dating. Just date and have fun. Like, don't stop dating, because men technically don't stop dating. They don't stop until they have to. Like, that's what I heard. That's a terminology. Men don't stop. My friend told me this. His father told him, don't stop running until, like, I guess you tripped. Like, basically, don't stop. Like, basically, okay, she made you trip up and fall in love. Like, that's when you can stop running. But, like, if ain't nobody make you fall in love, girls, keep running. And don't let that nigga stop you from chasing your dreams and your career. Keep going. Like, you know, that's what I mean when I say that. Yeah, have confidence, loving yourself, getting all dressed up and go outside. You know, don't dig deep about like what makes you happy. Try to figure out, oh, this is another thing. This is gonna get a little bit emotional. Figure out what happened in your childhood. We have to not figure it out because we know what happened in our childhood. But go back to what happened in your childhood to make you feel the way you do to this day. I was having a conversation with my friend about that. About, like, you know, your childhood behaviors play a role in how we behave as an adult. Now we're going to dig deep a little bit into my life. So me personally, I was adopted. I didn't grow up with my parents. I didn't know my parents. So all I knew was my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather. So the thing is, I didn't know that they weren't my parents until I became at least 7 or 8 years old. that's when I started to click, when people started to say, you know, that's your grandma. And I didn't really know what no one was talking about, really. Like, she was like, oh, that's your grandma. And I would look at her like, I would be like, mommy, because I called her, I used to call my grandma mommy. Like, honestly, I still call her mommy. I call her both. She answers to both. I call her mommy, I call her grandma. She doesn't care, because that is who I see to be my mother. That is who I call mom. But then when people started to tell me that she is my grandmother, because she never literally opened her mouth and said it herself, that I am your grandma, because she's raising me. She don't show me no different type of love. She loves me as if she gives birth to me. Let me say something. My grandmother, she acts as if she pushed me out and she bared the pain for me, to be honest. Like, you can tell her that she ain't my mom. You know what I'm saying? It's written that she's my mother. There's documents that say she's my mother. But she might as well gave birth to me. The way she treats me, the way she shows me love. That's why I think I want to adopt children so much, because of my grandmother. But knowing that after the fact, kids being adopted, and when we learn that we're adopted, it gives us a little bit of a mind fuck. And I'm gonna tell you, like, what trips us out about it is because we growing up with someone who is being a mother to us, and we love that person, but then we always think in the back of our minds, whatever happened to our actual mother, whatever happened to our actual father. And a lot of times I think I'm like going like just on a tangent. Yeah, it kind of plays into, like, I'm going off on like a tangent now. I'm sorry, I don't want to like mix it up and get off topic. I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what I was trying to say is that it makes for the children that have been adopted, we know, like, it plays with us mentally and emotionally, because, like, not to take away from the person who raised us, because we love them, but we also always think about the person who made us, and why did I end up here? Like, why? Because that was the biggest question of my life. Like, you know, that fucked with me about the niggas I chose to be with. Like, to be honest, that like played a big role. Like, how I acted, you know, growing up, and that makes you not understand yourself even more. And I think I want to make a video about what it was like being adopted, but I'll do that later. But the thing is that I was adopted by family members, not by I was never in the foster system, not by like a total stranger that is not related to me. That's the thing. Like, I wasn't adopted like with, I don't know who these people are. I was adopted by relatives. My grandmother, that's who I was adopted by. But it plays a part with not understanding me as growing up as a young girl, not getting, well, what happened to the woman who raised me. And that plays a part with how we feel as a person. We sometimes do feel like we're not worthy of love, because, like, if my own parents just toss me over to y'all, then who gives a fuck? Like, you know. So, and that's another thing. When I did meet my mother, as you guys know in my vlog, and when I did, you know, see my father again, I saw my father twice in my life growing up. And when I got to sit down and talk to them about what happened and why, I started to realize, like, you can't live life like that, Tina. Like, you cannot live your life that way, to realize, like, what happened is not your fault, and that is something you might have to go to therapy for. Like, whatever happened when you were a child is not your fault. So you cannot keep blaming yourself and making yourself feel unworthy and feeling like you're not worth anything if these things aren't because of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started to realize, like, when my mom did tell me what happened, and when my father did explain to me what happened, and then I realized why I did end up with my grandparents, it has nothing to do with me. So I can't live my whole life feeling like, I guess this is the type of niggas I'm just gonna have to deal with, because this is the type of niggas they always come around like niggas ain't shit and I don't deserve, like, you know, that's not fair. Like, because I want to be in something different. I want more for myself. So it's like, I always used to feel like, well, fuck it. Like, you know, if they didn't want me and I'ma just date whoever fucks with me, and if I don't fuck with you no more, then that's just that. But like, that's not a good way of thinking. I had to correct that change, because there's this thing called generational curses, and I had to realize I have to break that curse. So I want to break that curse. You got to go to church for that too. You have to go to church. You have to pray for that. So I started to pray, and I had to realize, like, I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't want to carry these feelings on for the rest of my life, feeling like I don't deserve nothing, I ain't shit, I don't deserve shit, this is why I don't have shit, whatever goes on, and it's not, no. Like, that's why I had to, like, pick myself up and constantly tell myself that I am beautiful, that I am worthy, that I am worth everything that I want, everything that I need, everything that I should have. I can get it because I am worthy of that, no matter what happened with my parents, no matter what, if I am adopted, no matter what, I am worthy of everything, because these things aren't my fault. So I had to really tell myself that, and that is why when I was in high school, a lot of people thought I was like really cocky. It's like, you a cocky little bitch or whatever, but they don't know what's going on in you at home, so they're just gonna assume whatever the fuck and whatever. But that's why I have to continue to tell myself that, like, I'm beautiful, you're great, you're amazing, because I didn't always feel that. Like, I never felt that, so I had to tell myself that. So in closing, you know, we all want love. You know, we all want somebody to love us and like show us that we the only one in their life and shit like that. You know what I said? We all want all of that, but I feel like you have to know what your worth is. You know, knowing your worth. You know what quote I love to see? This meme of the woman on Rugrats, who was Angelica's mother, how she says she's living in a dominant society of men. You have to eat, breathe, and sweat self-esteem. So that is what you gotta do. You gotta eat, breathe, and sweat self-esteem, because you will never know what your worth is if you don't know what your worth is. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just want all my black women to eat, breathe, and sweat self-esteem, because it's very hard for us out here, especially when, you know, your shade's like me, darker than me. It's especially hard for us to even like get, like, you know, any of that. So that's why I feel like I tell my cousins it so much that I've created little monsters. I tell her all the time how pretty she is, how beautiful they are, how great they are, how amazing they are, and I tell it to them so much that they just be like, oh, I know. Like, like, I say it so much all the time. Like, I'll be like, hey, pretty girl, and like, they would look at me like duh, like, you know. But it's like, it's a little arrogant. I feel like, because I've done it since they were young, now they're just like so cocky, and it's like, I feel like I've created monsters because I've been saying so much to them that it's like, damn, like, you can accept the compliment. But to be honest, I like that, because like, when somebody says, oh, you're ugly, because you've been hearing it so often that you're beautiful, it just rolls off your shoulder like, nigga, please. To be honest, that's what I want. Like, when I want all of my good them to stay good, and when somebody tell us say you don't look good, me just want you to come say, chat to my backyard, y'all, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, I want you guys to understand your worth, know your worth, love yourself, and just Goodie Gang out.